Good morning, students. Today we will study about the esophagus. So, in the previous classes, we have seen about the different regions of the gastrointestinal tract, okay, the mouth, and what are the different parts of the mouth, what are the different organs and salivary glands involved in the process of digestion, or you can say the process of eating food. Today we will see about esophagus. So, what is esophagus? You can see from the picture that esophagus is a long tube like structure. Esophagus, from the name itself, it is called as a gullet. It is called as a gullet. So, you would have heard about this term gullet in many different colloquial languages. You would have heard about this particular term gullet. So it is called as the eating gullet. It is actually a muscular tube. You can see from the picture, it is a muscular tube which can be collapsible, or it is made up of muscles, smooth muscles. So the initial regions are attached with the, or so the starting point of the esophagus, you can call it as, from the mouth. It extends from the pharynx, larynx, and then into the esophagus. It opens into the esophagus. The esophagus, you can see from the picture, it pierces the diaphragm and then enters the stomach. So it is the opening of the stomach. So the food passes from the mouth into the pharynx, passes through the larynx, and then the esophagus, which is a long tube, which is a long muscular tube. So the length, you can say, it is about 25 centimeter in length, and you can see it is located behind the trachea. It is located behind the trachea. You can see the trachea is the respiratory tract which leads into the lungs. So you can see the esophagus is behind the trachea and also behind the larynx. What is larynx? Larynx is the voice box. So it is present, starts from the neck region. Okay, it starts from the neck region. It passes through the trachea. That is, it is present. You can see the trachea, feel the trachea, larynx and all in front of the neck. So it is just behind the trachea and the larynx, and passes through the neck, and then enters the mediastinum. So mediastinum, anterior to the vertebral column, just in front of the vertebral column. It is present in front of the vertebral column. Then it goes down, it pierces the diaphragm through an opening called as the esophageal hiatus. So what is the opening called? It is called as the esophageal hiatus. And it ends in the upper portion of the stomach. You can see it ends in the upper portion of the stomach. So it pierces the diaphragm through an opening called the esophageal hiatus, and it opens into the upper portion of the stomach. So the stomach is well below the diaphragm. You can see from the picture that the stomach is well below the diaphragm, and the esophageal hiatus, I mean, is above the diaphragm. Okay, is above the diaphragm. So that is, when this esophageal hiatus protrudes through the diaphragm and comes out on the upper part, then it is a condition. Okay, it is a diseased condition. You would have heard about hernia. Hernia is a condition whenever some organ protrudes from its actual place into some other region. Okay, so here the esophageal hiatus, okay, it will protrude through the diaphragm, and it will come above, okay, above the diaphragm. So this is a condition. This should be actually below the diaphragm. So the esophagus opens into the stomach, pierces the diaphragm, and then opens into the stomach through the opening called as the esophageal hiatus. When this opening, because of some condition, some disease condition or some other medical condition, if it protrudes above the diaphragm, then it is called as the hiatus hernia. Okay, it is called as the hiatus hernia. So what is esophagus? You can see esophagus is the connecting muscular duct or tubule which extends from the mouth to the stomach. Okay, so it is the main part where the food is carried or travel. You see, you can see it is quite some distance. So it is about 25 centimeter in length. Okay, it is about 25 centimeter in length, and it passes through the trachea, larynx. You can see the trachea and the larynx is in the front and the vertebral column is behind. So it is in between the trachea, larynx and the vertebral column behind. You can call it as anterior and posterior. Okay, so the esophagus is inferior to the trachea and the larynx. You should say the esophagus is inferior to the trachea and the larynx. Okay, and it is also anterior to the vertebral column. So it is in between these two regions. Okay, so it just passes, from the tracheal region and the larynx. It is made up of bones. It is attached with the bones and the skeletal muscles. It is made up of skeletal muscles. As it passes down the larynx, it is not made up of skeletal muscles, it is made up of smooth muscles. So this will allow the food to be passed into the stomach, okay, little by little. The food that passes or enters the esophagus is called as bolus. This food passes slowly, okay, into the stomach. The slowly means it takes a few seconds. Okay, for when you drink water, you can feel the filling of the water into the stomach within a second, within 1 or 2 seconds. Immediately it enters the stomach. But when you take some solid food, you can see when you are hungry and when you take in food, you can feel that your stomach is, getting filled with the food you take it. Okay, so that will take a few seconds, say for 10 seconds or 15 seconds to reach the stomach. So there is a difference between the water or juice or liquid which is taken directly. It will take a few seconds to reach the stomach, whereas the solid food, it is being masticated by the teeth and the mixed with the saliva and also the secretions of the esophagus. So what is the secretion of the esophagus? Mucus. So the food is completely surrounded by the mucus secreted by the esophagus. Okay, complete throughout there are cells, mucus secreting cells present in the inner lining of the esophagus. So this will secrete the mucus and it will coat the food so that it does not have any problem or it does not stuck with the inner walls of the esophagus or any other regions of the digestive tract. It smoothly flows or it gets transported into the stomach. So the propulsion of the food into the stomach is by two processes. The muscles which are present in the esophagus are involved in two kinds of motion. That is, one is circular motion. The muscles of the esophagus move in a circular fashion to push or propel the food into the next regions and into the stomach. And the second kind of movement is peristaltic movement. So peristaltic movement is a kind of movement like a caterpillar. So like a caterpillar, how it moves, it shrinks its body, then extends. It shrinks and extends. So this is kind of a movement which is called as the peristaltic movement. So by these two kind of movements, circular movement and peristaltic movement, the food is transported from the mouth into the stomach through the esophagus. So what is the opening of the esophagus into the stomach? The opening is called as esophageal hiatus. Okay, so this is about the structure of the esophagus. Now we will see about the histology of the esophagus. So you can see from the picture, okay, the lumen of the esophagus, mucosa. So it is just like the other regions of the digestive tract. This esophagus is made up of, the these four layers. So what are the four layers? You can see from the picture: mucosa, submucosa, muscularis, and adventitia or the serosa. So here you can see the how the walls of the esophagus. So the inside the wall you have the lumen through which the food passes. So the lining of the esophagus starts from mucosa. So mucosa, as you can see from the picture, it is made up of stratified squamous epithelium. So this stratified squamous epithelium, no, it is continuous. It is continuous from the mouth. Okay, it is continuous with the mouth, the buccal region, the lips. Okay, and then it passes through the tongue, then the pharyngeal region. Okay, the pharynx is divided into three parts. I have already told you: oropharynx, nasopharynx, and laryngopharynx. So this it passes. So this is the layers of the mucosa. It is continuous with the mouth, lips, tongue, etc. So it is made up of three layers. So what are the three layers? Non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, lamina propria, and the muscularis mucosa. So these are the regions. So what is the help use of or I mean application of these regions? They protect the tube, the esophagus, or as well as the whole regions of the digestive tract. No, they secrete mucus, so they protect the tube from the hard regions of the food. Suppose the food contains some hard bones or something else, no, the wear and tear of the bones or the particles present in the food, no, they will be initially it will be first chewed and mixed with the saliva, and then as it enters the esophagus, it is again mixed with a large secretions of mucus. Okay, so this will avoid the abrasion caused by the food substances to the inner. Even if there is some abrasion, it will immediately be healed unless and until it is a very very large wound. Okay, so anyway, when the mouth, you know, when you eat a fish or bones, when it gets stuck into the mucosa, anyway you will feel some difficulty. This the second layer you can see is the submucosa. So as you all know, the submucosa is made up of connective tissues, blood vessels, and also mucus glands. So they secrete the mucus. The third layer is the muscularis. So muscularis, muscularis is made up of, the two layers, circular layer and the longitudinal layer. So they are only helpful uh, in the movement or the transport of the food from one region to another. So they are this. I told you the circular motion as well as the peristaltic motion is because of the presence of these two kinds of muscularis, circular and the longitudinal. Next layer is the adventitia. So adventitia is actually it merges along with the other regions of the outer regions of the digestive tract. Okay, so that is why it is actually called as the serosa. But here, because it is a superficial layer of the esophagus, okay, it just merges with the other regions, okay, by the connective tissues, and the surrounding mediastinum, etc. It just it just merges and is continuous with the other regions. So that is why it is called as the adventitia and not the serosa. Now you can see there are two regions which two openings. Okay, one is the upper esophageal opening or valve or sphincter. You can call it as a upper esophageal sphincter and also lower esophageal sphincter. So where is this present? So the upper esophageal sphincter is the opening between the mouth uh, and the esophagus. That is the upper. So these are the sphincters or valves which will open and close. Valve is a part of the any opening, any tube or something, which opens and lets the food allows the food to pass through the tract or the tube. So it has two openings: upper esophageal sphincter, and then the lower esophageal sphincter. So the lower esophageal sphincter actually opens into the stomach. The lower esophageal sphincter actually opens into the stomach. So you can see from the picture that the upper esophageal the sphincter is present, no, in the region of the trachea, larynx. Okay, just after the mouth. Okay, when the food enters, passes from the mouth into the esophagus, the initial regions are pharynx. Okay, pharynx. So we know that pharynx is made up of three regions: oropharynx, nasopharynx, and the laryngopharynx. So it has to pass through these regions. Okay, so the upper part of the esophagus is guarded by the upper esophageal sphincter, which opens and closes. Okay, so this is guarded by so many things. The in the previous class we have seen about the soft palate, hard palate, which is on the upper region of the mouth, and you can imagine how the swallowing takes place. So during swallowing, the palate, you close the mouth, you take in food when you open the mouth, and when you want to swallow, this is a voluntary action. Swallowing the food is a voluntary action, and this region is actually made up of trachea, larynx, pharynx, etc. So they are all made up of skeletal muscles, skeletal bones, and also skeletal muscles. So the whatever mechanism or whatever kind of transport that is taking place here is a voluntary action. So how do you take in food? You take one mouthful of food and you swallow. When you swallow, you close the mouth. So when you close the mouth, what happens? The upper palate the soft, that is the soft and the hard upper palate, and the small tongue, uvula comes down, it closes, your tongue goes and touches the upper palate, so that it will enable the swallowing. So the process of swallowing is called as deglutition. What is it called as? Deglutition. Okay, so during swallowing, it is a voluntary action. So the upper palate and the hard and the soft palate, okay, it comes in close contact with the tongue. So tongue goes and touches the upper region and closes the upper palate, and the uvula, okay, uvula comes down, so that it closes the that is the nasopharynx. So when the nasopharynx is closed, this will prevent the food from entering into the nose. Okay, nose. Then you have the next region. Okay, laryngopharynx. Okay, so the laryngopharynx also, that is, it is guarded by epiglottis. So glottis region, it is guarded by the epiglottis. So you know what is the role of the epiglottis? Epiglottis closes the larynx, and it will prevent the food from entering the larynx, and also the trachea. Okay, so trachea, what is trachea? It is a windpipe. So the breathing, respiratory tract. So the food should not go into the lungs through the trachea. So what happens? This region is closed by the epiglottis. So the food is prevented to enter into the nose or into the lungs, so that it is smoothly enters the esophagus and then reaches the stomach. So that is why it is guarded by the upper esophageal sphincter. Next, when the food passes down and pierces the diaphragm and goes into the stomach, this region is guarded by the lower esophageal sphincter or lower esophageal valve. So it is different from this region because here this region is made up of smooth muscles, whereas the upper esophageal sphincter is made up of skeletal muscles. Okay, so there is a difference between these two. So the food in the form of bolus enters the stomach little by little, not all on a sudden. So it will enter the stomach little by little, so that the sphincter, this sphincter which is guarding the opening of the stomach, opens and closes at regular intervals of time, allowing the food to enter the stomach. So this is what is happening in the esophagus. Okay, so this is the histology of the esophagus, and how the process of swallowing and the transportation of food takes place in the esophagus. So what is the main function of esophagus? The esophagus secretes mucus and also transports the food from the mouth into the stomach. So what is does it secrete? Does it have any digestive function? No, it does not have any digestive function. It just secretes the mucus. It does not secrete any enzymes. Okay, it does not have any digestive function. The main function of the esophagus is transportation. Okay, transportation of food. That is the main process uh, of the esophagus. Okay, and it also does not have any absorptive function. So the only function is covering the food with the mucus, and then it transports the food through the, it is a long tube. Okay, that is around I told you 20 to 25 centimeter in length. So it is a quite some distance. It has to travel quite some distance and empties the food into the stomach. So the next process, I've been talking about, is deglutition. So deglutition is a process called as swallowing. So you can see from the picture how the swallowing, the food in the form of bolus is swallowed. Okay, so the movement of the food from the mouth into the stomach, okay, is carried out by a process called as swallowing or deglutition. So the deglutition starts from the mouth. It is the what you call it in Tamil, swallowing or milungirathu. Okay, milungirathu, that action. So this is of three. You can say the swallowing takes place in three stages. So one is the voluntary stage. What I told you, no, here in the beginning, takes place in three stages. First one is the voluntary stage. The second one is the pharyngeal stage. Okay, in what happens in the pharynx. Okay, that is the pharyngeal stage. Third one is the esophageal stage. Okay, so there are three stages of swallowing. What is the first one? It is called as the voluntary stage. So, in which I told you the pharynx is made up of three regions. So, nasopharynx, you can see the nasopharynx here, oropharynx here, and laryngopharynx here. So, the pharynx is made up of three regions connecting to the nose. It is called as the nasopharynx, and which is connecting to the mouth is called as oropharynx, and which is present in the larynx region is called as the laryngopharynx. So there are three regions. So the process of swallowing takes place in this region, that is from the mouth into into the starting of the esophagus. So the initial regions of the esophagus consist of pharynx, larynx, etc. Okay, then only it is all these regions are made up of skeletal muscles. So the rest of the region is made up of the smooth muscles, esophagus. Okay, so before that the food has to pass through these regions. So that is why the process of swallowing takes place in three stages. The first one is the voluntary stage. The next two are now are involuntary. Okay, so what is the first stage? It is a voluntary stage where the food passes from the mouth into the oropharynx. Okay, pharynx, no, oropharynx here. This is the first stage. So this is, you can imagine it takes place by voluntary action. Okay, next one is the, you can see it is the pharyngeal stage. Okay, so the pharyngeal stage is involuntary process where the food in the form of bolus passes through the pharynx into the esophagus. When it enters the esophagus, then it is smooth. The third stage is the esophageal stage. This is also involuntary, where the food in the form of bolus passes through the entire length of the esophagus into the stomach. Now, how does the swallowing take place? The deglutition. So the, when the food is taken in the mouth, you can imagine, as I told you, this is the hard palate, this is the soft palate. Okay, you can, and this is the tongue. Okay, see, you can see how the swallowing takes, the difference between these two. The food is taken in the mouth, it is now present in the oral region, oral cavity. Okay, so during the process of swallowing, you can see the tongue presses the upper palate, both the hard and the soft palate, and the uvula. So this is the uvula, the hanging small tongue. Okay, uvula closes, so comes down, so it closes. See, it closes the this region. Okay, so the entry to the nose, the nasopharynx region is closed. Okay, so the foot without any trouble goes into, this is the normal process. But when we நம்மளுக்கு புறை ஏறிடுச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது என்ன ஆகும், the food either goes into the nose or goes into the lungs. That is why we experience some kind of choking, or which food entering the breathing respiratory tract. Okay, so in the normal process what happens, the tongue goes up, you close the mouth. When you close the mouth, the tongue goes on and touches the upper soft and the hard palate. The uvula, she closes this opening, nasopharynx, and the food passes down. Okay, this is the voluntary stage of swallowing. Okay, now next, when it goes down, no, this is next stage is the pharyngeal stage. So pharyngeal stage of swallowing is an involuntary action. So what happens, there are some receptors present in the region. Okay, in the oropharynx and the laryngopharynx, there are some receptors present. Okay, so they will send what do you say, the message to the brain. So in the brain there is a center called as the deglutition center. Okay, swallowing center. Where is this present? This is present in the medulla oblongata and the lower pons of the brainstem. So this deglutition center is present in the brain. In which region? It is present in the medulla oblongata and the lower pons of the brainstem. So what happens when the message is sent to this center? The impulse. So okay, this impulse only causes these things to happen. The soft palate and the hard palate to come in close contact with the tongue, and the uvula moves and closes the nasopharynx. Okay, and then the swallowing takes place. So this is what is happening. So here in this region, when the food passes through the second stage, pharyngeal stage, the epiglottis, okay, the epiglottis closes. So where does it float? Epiglottis closes the opening to the larynx. You can see this is the epiglottis. Here it is seen here. Okay, the epiglottis closes the opening to the larynx. So this will prevent the entry of the food into the respiratory tract. Okay, once the food moves into the laryngopharynx, then it is easy. There is no other opening, so it easily goes into the next region of the esophagus. Okay, so the next region, you can see this is the esophagus, how it is undergoing the transportation. The third stage is called as the esophageal stage. Okay, so in this esophageal stage, this is also under involuntary control. So two kinds of movement, as I told you. takes place. One is the circular movement. So I told you, know, this is the circular muscles. They contract and relax, contract and relax. Whereas the longitudinal muscles, they take place in a peristaltic movement. Okay, that is no just like worm like movement or caterpillar like movement. So one region shrinks, the other region expands. One region shrinks and the other region expands. That is how the bolus is pushed to the next region. So by circular motion as well as by the that is the peristaltic motion of the longitudinal muscles. See, one region contracts, the other region relaxes. One region contracts and the other region relaxes. See, you can see the movement of the bolus. See how it reaches the this one. Okay, the stomach. So here the stomach, the region in between the stomach and the esophagus is guarded by the sphincter. As I have already mentioned, it is called as the lower esophageal sphincter. Okay, so this guards the stomach, opening of the stomach from the esophagus. So little by little it will allow the bolus to go into the stomach. Okay, so this is how the travels and uh, enters the stomach. So throughout the length of the esophagus, there is a secretion of mucus. So what is the role of the mucus? The mucus completely covers the food. Okay, it will prevent the wear and tear of the esophagus. Okay, it lubricates the food so that it reduces any friction caused by the food in the throat region or the esophageal region, so that it passes the food no smoothly into the stomach. So as I told you, the passage of the liquid takes only one or two seconds, few seconds, whereas the passage of solid or semi solid food which is masticated by the mouth, it takes around 10 seconds. So 8 to 10 seconds to enter into the stomach. Now in this table you can see the summary of the digestive activities in the pharynx and the esophagus. So first the pharynx, what happens? The first stage is the voluntary stage. So what is that stage called as the that is the closing of the tongue, the palate, upper palate, and the uvula, the small tongue. Okay, so this will help in the entry of the food into the pharyngeal region. The second stage is the pharyngeal stage of deglutition. So where the bolus moves from the oropharynx into the laryngopharynx and then into esophagus. So what happens here? The epiglottis does the function. Epiglottis closes the opening towards the larynx and it will prevent the entry of the food into the respiratory tract. The third stage is the esophageal stage. So here relaxation. So here only there is a upper esophageal sphincter opens. Okay, it relaxes and allows the entry of the bolus into the esophagus. So it permits the entry of the bolus from the laryngopharynx into the esophagus. So it is the upper esophageal sphincter is present between the larynx and the esophagus. Okay, then the esophageal stage of deglutition, where the circular motion and the peristaltic motion will allow the bolus to be transported through down the esophagus into the stomach. Then, in the end of the esophagus, that is the entry of the stomach, you have the lower esophageal sphincter. So, this also relaxes and opens, the valve opens, allowing the entry of the bolus into the stomach. Okay, so for the whole esophageal region, the mucus is secreted, which will prevent the rough and tear of the esophagus, lubricates the food. Okay, completely covers the food with the mucus, lubricates the esophagus for the true smooth transport of the bolus. Okay, so this we have seen about the um, larynx. The next class we will see about stomach.